Welcome to Conversations with Miss Marcie, the podcast where we get real about relationships, culture, and the truth that shapes us. No fluff, no filters, just bold conversations that matter. Now let's dive in. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Conversations with Miss Marcie. I am Miss Marcie. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you so much for stopping by. And to all of my continued listeners, thank you so much for the continued support. I really do appreciate it. And remember, we are now on all streaming platforms, okay? All major streaming platforms. And if you are one of my to all of my Apple listeners, I actually have a whole lot of Apple listeners. And I want to just remind you, I'll leave a review and things like that. I enjoy reading reviews and stuff. So don't forget to do that. And again, like I always say, don't forget to share this podcast, everybody. Share this podcast with your mama them, your brother them, your sister them, your whoever. Share this podcast. So anyway, so let's first of all, hope you guys are doing well. It has been a nice weekend, actually. Like today is really beautiful outside. I got up this morning, I went and took a nice walk, and I yesterday I lost my damn debit card. I think I misplaced it, so I went to the car wash again. Yesterday was a nice day as well, so went to the car wash, long needed car wash for my car. It's like, giving your car a nice bath. So I went to the car wash, and I remember I gave my card to the lady, representative, the lady at the dang on car wash. She took my card or whatever, and she swiped it or whatever, and gave me the $16 wash that I wanted or whatever, right? This was down to the Moo Moo car wash or whatever. So she handed me my card back, and I put it back in my little bag or whatever. And I'm very responsible with my debit card. I don't never just leave it out. I always put it right back. So next thing I know, I go through the wash, get my little car wash, and then I went to vacuum it out and everything. But I think what happened was, excuse me, sorry y'all, sitting here sipping on the smoothie. But I think what happened was, after she gave me my car back, I put it in my little purse. But she also gave me some brochures, some little in my receipt or whatever, little brochure, just advertisement, whatever, in my receipt. So I went to go vacuum everything out, and I think I might have accidentally threw it away. I don't know, but it was just weird how I just can't find it. So anyway, I didn't realize that I was missing it until I went to Kroger's, because I went to the grocery store afterwards. And so I'm in the checkout line, ready to check out. And I'm like standing there at the little kiosk, the little self checkout. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't find my card. So I had to use another card or whatever. So, you know, I went home and everything. I checked my bank account, nothing. There was no activity. So I'm like, I don't think it's in anybody's hands or anything like that. So called my bank, called my financial institution or whatever, and I told them what was going on. So they just sent me out a replacement and everything. But I went back to the car wash today after I took my walk and everything. I was like, I'm gonna go down there just to see, just to kind of trace my steps, because I know that was the last place I used it. So the young lady that basically checked me in yesterday, she was there and everything, and then the owner and stuff, he was there. The manager was there as well. So I was telling them like, oh, I came through here yesterday, and I know the young lady gave me my card back. I don't think that's the issue, but I just want to know if she, if she could tell me what she remembered me doing with it, just to kind of still double trace my steps or whatever. So she was there. They, she was on break, whatever. So they came and told her like, hey, she was real nice, real sweet girl. So she was like, I was like, yeah, you gave it back to me, but do you remember seeing what I did with it? She was like, I don't remember, because they deal with a lot of people. So she was like, well, let me have the manager, pull the video, and maybe with the video we can see, because we can see inside your car, in the video. So the manager, he came out, so he was just explaining everything to him. So they pulled the video, they went to the back, they pulled the video, he came back. He was like, "Yeah, you actually did put it in your purse." He was like, "We could see that you put it in your purse, and it looked like you were putting the receipt in the brochure somewhere else or whatever." So I was like, "Oh my gosh, you know." So he was like, "Well, if you want me to," he was like, "I can help you look. I can look in your car with you." He was like, "Because this happened before with another person, and they found the card like in the slide, you know, the cracks in between your car and stuff like that." So then we went. I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so nice. Yeah, you can do that." So he came with me. We went to my car. We started looking through and everything, and he was just like, "Oh, I don't see nothing back here." You know how you look in the back of the passenger seat and the driver's seat or whatever. He was like, "Oh, I don't see anything." He was like, I see Cheerios." I started laughing because I mean I did vacuum my car out and my car is clean, but I guess I missed some spots or whatever. So I had some Cheerios, child, from when I spilled some Cheerios in the car one morning. Oh my gosh. Okay. So then so we didn't find the card or whatever. It was just weird. I don't know. It was just really weird. I mean, how am I on video with the putting the dang on card in my purse? And I know I put it in there, but then I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, so I'm getting a replacement card coming out, and I'm cool. Yeah, whatever. So that was that. So then I came home and everything, and I took my shower and stuff and started cooking and everything. Baked chicken, carrots, and some broccoli. That's dinner for today, y'all. So then I was like, let me get on here and do my thing, So here I am. And let's get into this mental health check-in. So this has been a pretty decent week. I will say that I've been tired for real, still been tired. Y'all know I said that last time. I was tired, and I'm still tired from work. I had to work Saturday as well. I told my one of my coworkers, I said, I ain't had to work a Saturday in like 20 some years for real. I'm like, but I'm liking the overtime money though, so that's cool. But I'm like, when the weather start really breaking, I don't know. I can't. This can't be a lifestyle now. I don't know. Shit, for real. Okay. So that's what was going on. I can't believe how warm and nice it is outside, man. That walk felt so good. Oh my gosh, it felt good. It's something about a nice walk. It just does a lot for you, mentally. It's just relaxing. Is Oh man, I love it. I love it. So y'all know last summer I was walking every day. And the summer before that. I mean, every day I was walking for like 45 minutes. I love it. I think I read somewhere where they said that when you start to get in your 40s, really like walking is the best exercise you can do. You don't have to go into the gym and do all this, strenuous, overexerting type of exercises. I don't know, but that's what I read. So, but I do know that I do enjoy walking, and I do like the way I feel when I'm done walking and stuff, and it helps you sleep really good at night too. So, let's move right along. So, like I said, mental health check in. I'm cool. I've just been taking it easy all week. Nothing has got on my nerves. Nobody or nothing has got on my nerves this week or nothing like that. Like I said, just been lacking some rest, but that's about it. So anyway, there was a lot of talk about the Houston Rodeo. Okay. I believe the Houston Rodeo, it was from March the 2nd to March 22nd. Let me see. Houston Rodeo this year. I've never been to the Houston Rodeo. Yeah, it was from Tuesday, March 4th to Sunday, March 23rd, but they shut it down early because people got out of hand and shit got crazy, which is what I'm gonna talk about. So, first of all, like I said, I never been to the Houston Rodeo, and me personally, when it come to Houston, Texas, I don't know what it is, but I can't seem to get into it. I know some people be, saying, "Oh, it's fun. It's a lot to do there," and a lot of people are moving there. Houston has become like the next Atlanta, where a lot of people are migrating there, and that's cool and everything. Now, I have heard that you get a lot of house for your buck. You get a lot of bang for your buck for when it comes to the housing world. You get a lot of house for what you pay, which is not like that, a lot of other places. So that's a good thing. But I mean, for real, I don't know. I've been there once, years ago, like 2019. And I don't know if maybe I have a negative association with Houston because when I was in Houston, that is when my brother passed away. And I was there and he was in Ohio. And and that was just a really bad weekend. I mean, the weather was bad. It was awful, actually. I remember the day he passed, I remember, that morning, it was raining, it was cold. It was a just a fucked up weekend, period. I don't know if maybe my association with Houston with that life-changing event for me, it's like I kind of just have a negative, but also in addition to that, I feel like every time when it comes to Texas, there's been times I've tried to go visit and it seemed like something always happens major in my life. Like when I try to go visit Texas, I don't know. It's just something about Texas. I don't know. Maybe it could just be coincidental, or if it just, I don't know if it's a sign that maybe it's not for me. I don't know. But that is what I've gotten from Texas so far. That's just the things that have gone on when it came to me in Texas. But not only that, but I noticed that when it comes to Houston, it seemed like I'm always seeing some negative, crazy ghetto shit in the media when it comes to Houston, and I don't doubt that it might not be a great place, and I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just going off of my observation of what I'm seeing or whatever. And like I said, the rodeo was going on, and there was a lot of stuff happening. So one of the major things was they have established a dress code going forward. Now y'all know the rodeo is a family oriented type of function or whatever, and they have it every year. It's been going on for many years. Well, now because of the way some of the young ladies were dressed, they have established a dress code. And I'm like, well, dang, was it that bad? Now, I saw some of the outfits or whatever. I didn't think they were too bad. Some of them were not too bad. But then there was some outfits that was just like, oh, wow. Because there are children there. This is a family friendly function. And like I said, some of them, some girls just had on their little shorts or whatever, and they had on, the cowboy hats and stuff and the cowboy boots and stuff like that. But some women had the booty cheeks out and everything, and you could see everything. But here's my thing: that whole type of dress and stuff, that's like now the culture. I remember when I went to Cincinnati for some type of, I can't remember what I was going to. We always going to Cincinnati for something, but we were in Cincinnati, and this girl had on like this mesh see-through white outfit, and it was like, damn. My whole point is, women dressing a certain way is not nothing new. You gotta go back to the days of the Daisy Duke era, and that was my teenage years. And yeah, I did have a pair of Daisy Dukes. I did, but I wouldn't wear that now. That was a thing. I mean, we went through that era today. Look at them girls with the Daisy Dukes on, and that's what it was. So this it's not nothing new, but I think what's happening is it's getting worse, and the ass cheeks are showing more. It's like more women are showing ass and tits, because there was one lady who was there and she had like her butt cheeks was out. And then let's not get on like the bathing suits now. It's just the whole thong with a lot of ass hanging out. For me, I mean, it's what it is. It's how they dress now. But it is bad when it's got to get to a point where a family function has to be now like, okay, we got to have a dress code. And it sounds like it was a lot of raunchiness going on down there. It sounded like it was reminiscent of the Freaknik. Y'all remember the Freaknik back in the day? I never went to that either. I've never been the kind of person, I'm gonna be honest with you. Then and now, I don't get into raunchiness as fun. I don't think raunchy behavior is fun to me. I mean, I don't know if this is just the culture now, but every time you turn around, that's all you see is women shaking ass. That's all you see on the internet, in the music videos. And I don't really watch videos, of course, not like I did when I was a young girl, but I do see videos every now and then. Like, matter of fact, just recently I saw, because I watch a lot of YouTube, and so a lot of times if I'm cleaning my house or whatever, I'll turn on YouTube and play the music and stuff like that. But one of the videos I just recently saw was "Take Me Through There, Take Me Through There." That video, a lot of ass shaking. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm gonna be honest with you. People can do what they want to do. And I know people like to have fun. A lot of times that's what young girls love to do. But I'm kind of overseeing it for real, to be honest with you. There's a such thing as just overkill. Why is it every time we turn around, we got to see women bent over shaking their ass? It's old. It's like, damn, can y'all as video producers and directors, can y'all come up with some some creative visuals? I like to see storytelling in videos if I'm gonna watch a video. But just watching people shaking their asses and stuff, that just really gets old. But like I said, that's the thing that's going on now. So I don't know. And then on top of that, you got a lot of men who, have something to say, like, oh my gosh, y'all women, yeah, always gotta mess things up and this and that, And I don't really think it's solely women's fault, because I noticed men, when it comes to social media, hell, men be all aboard, they be all on board with that shit, you know those influencers, these girls who be having like these dope ass bodies and stuff and be showing ass, they got a huge fucking following, and a lot of them be men. So it's like you can't just blame women for that or whatever. It's like, men play a part as well. So at the end of the day, it's just like I think that people are going by what they see on social media. You know, I think that's one of the reasons people dress the way they do. And then you gotta look at these entertainers. A lot of times when they do concerts, what they wearing? They wearing leotards, ass out. And I mean, ass is just out now. Ass being out is the thing now. So, like, listen to what this man had to say. Hold on, listen, listen.
So now it's been announced on the news today. It was announced yesterday, but I seen it on the news today, Texas news, that the Houston Rodeo is implementing a new dress code because of all the things that's recently happened this rodeo of 2026. You guys know how long the rodeo has been around, man. Rodeo's been around before a lot of y'all was even born, thought of, before y'all moms and dads was even born. But in 2026, we had to just go mess it up. Now, with all of the weird stuff that's going on down there with our own people, it's always us, man. It's always us that take something good and mess it up. That's the reason why a lot of the clubs in the neighborhoods are closed down, because people are moving their clubs to different cities and states, because there's always something going on at the clubs with our people that's messing up the whole entire establishment. You take the Houston Rodeo, for example, a multi-billion-dollar a year company, multiple vendors there, small children, farmers, church people, like judges, lawyers, people in high places, and we got to go down there with little bitty skimpy little shorts on so the little bitty kids can see the stuff, man. We take something so good and mess it up, and then we do this stuff and act like it's cute, and then we get online bragging about how good we was looking, how I'm a baddie. You're not a baddie. A baddie don't have to do all that. If a person claims that they're a baddie, you don't have to do all that extra stuff to get attention, being thirsty. Nobody really cares about that stuff. But the thing is, now the Houston Rodeo is implementing a new dress code. Whatever happened to just a nice pair of shorts, a pair of cowboy boots, and a nice little cowboy hat? Or a nice pair of jeans, even though it's hot sometimes, a nice pair of jeans, a nice pair of shorts or something. So now the rodeo is saying, no, we're not going for that anymore. I know the rodeo want to say a lot of stuff, but they can't legally say it without getting in trouble. But I can say it. It's our people, man. It's always our people that's taking something and messing it up good, messing up something so good. And I really don't care what nobody say. If you offended by what I say, then you're one of the ones I'm talking about, who don't care how you leave the house looking, have no respect for little children, man. But yeah, that's really all I gotta say, man. It's a shame that we can't have nothing good, man. And then y'all hear about what happened this spring break weekend at the rodeo. Once again, our people, the footage shows it. Our people right there again, acting the fool, just pulling out pew-pews, fighting, pulling knives out. It's the same stuff, man. Like, what is going on, man? Man, when we mess something
I
up,
mean,
man, we mess up something good.
my thing is, like I said, I wonder on his social media what type of women he follows. I bet you it's the women that be having their clappers out. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, first of all, I wouldn't be at a Houston rodeo. I'm getting to a point where I don't care to be places where there's so many people. I really don't. Just going to Walmart and places like the grocery store, Walmart, Kroger's, and places like that, I get annoyed when they're crowded. So let alone I'm gonna be at some function, that involves like so many people. It's annoying. And I'm noticing the older I get, I'm just like, mm-mm. But yeah, so they saying it was just that bad. The
And thought
outfits
it
was
meant come
just,
however you want.
oh,
I
this is what
saw
she
two
said.
videos today that mentioned the Houston Rodeo outfits incident where girls keep dressing up in like super revealing outfits. There's two videos in the caption. The first one shows you exactly what I'm talking about if you don't know. And the second video is a girl giving her opinion about the standards that people should have with how they dress and how they act in public. And I wanted to add to that. The reason people, specifically women, are so comfortable dressing and acting any kind of way, no matter the place or time of day, is body positivity. Let me explain. The original concept of come as you are, you don't need to change or modify yourself to fit some kind of beauty standard, that original idea is not the problem. The problem is y'all took that idea of come as you are and thought it meant come however you want. I saw a video probably like over a year ago of a woman talking about how she saw a bunch of bubble skirts at Disneyland. Like, the idea of you having your ass out at a place meant for families and children is completely unacceptable. Like, that's a no brainer. My only issue with any of this is that there's a time and a place. Just like how that
Hmm.
teacher.
I agree with her. That's what I was gonna say too. There is a time and a place for things. If you go into the club, okay, whatever. But I mean, when you had a family friendly function, I think that's what made it. That's what made it bad. Is because you had a family friendly function and there's children there. Children don't need to see your booty out. They don't.
She went by Teacher Bay or something like that, or strappy heels to school, that's very inappropriate. Now, do heels scream sex, money, drugs? No, it's just inappropriate for a school setting. If you're in a bubble skirt in a club in Miami at 2 in the morning, no one's gonna bat an eye. But if you're in
Right.
a bubble skirt at Universal or Disneyland at 2 in the afternoon, you're gonna stick out. Probably because parents don't want your ass out in front of their kids. The same thing
No, I
applies to how
wouldn't.
you act. Just like at that Broadway show where that one guy was yelling at the girls for singing along. What made those girls think it was okay to sing out loud at a Broadway show? I don't know. There used to be a much higher standard of how to dress and act in public, and as that's declined over the years,
Hmm.
the delusion has risen. Y'all have deluded yourselves into thinking that your unruly behavior and your unnecessarily revealing outfits are acceptable, and they're not.
I think that too. It's because of
However you
social
want.
media. Because people want to get on social media. They want to look at, they want to just show, oh, we was having fun. I did this, I did that. And like she talked about, body positivity. Like I'm looking on here now, and like I said, some of the outfits don't look bad. I mean, they're cute, they're sexy and things like that. And there's nothing wrong with being sexy, but it is something wrong with being a little too sexy. Like she said, like what I said, in a certain type of environment. I mean, I wouldn't have dressed like this. I mean, I wouldn't have. I would have probably wore like a sundress or something. And I get it, it's hot in Houston or whatever. But matter of fact, hell, I'm not seeing anybody with any dresses on as I'm scrolling. Do women not wear dresses at the rodeo? Everybody's wearing shorts. I don't know. So, let's see. Hold on.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you're not a 304, then you should not be wearing 304 attire. If you're not a midnight ballerina, then you should not be wearing midnight ballerina attire. If you're not a sex worker, period, then you should not be wearing sex worker attire, period, unless you're going to the fucking club. I seen how some of y'all was dressed at the Houston Rodeo, and I'm telling you this right now, you bitches look like you belong on Bissonnette. No shade. Y'all are not dressing like that.
It's like, was y'all going to the rodeo or was y'all going down to the pank?
For
Oh,
liberation, y'all are not dressing like that to look or feel good, bitch. You want attention. As a midnight ballerina, we dress like that to get attention from men to make them eventually come out of their pockets. You are not us, sweetheart, and I'm sick of bitches cosplaying us. Y'all don't want to be treated like sex workers. Y'all don't want to be talked to like sex workers, but you dress like one. I'm on y'all ass because I'm sick of it. I don't know who
and
needs
see,
to hear
that's
this,
what
but if you're
I
not a
that's what I say. Like women, don't get me wrong. It's like on the one hand, women talk about, oh, we need to be protected and things like that. But it's like, but then sometimes women conduct themselves in a certain fashion, and I don't know. It's just like there's something in society. There's hypersexual conduct. Period. That goes on, and I don't understand it, to be honest with you. And not only that, but speaking of Houston and speaking of sex, I heard that there's a huge number of STDs rate. The STD rate down in Houston is like super, super high. So yuck. I don't know. It's just let's see what he had to say. Hold on.
man, so I'm just coming from the rodeo with my son, right? And it was booty meat down. I mean, it was booty, meat, damn. I saw a young lady. She might as well have just took the damn shorts off. I mean, she had 2 quarter-pounder of ass just sitting out. And I'm like, well, damn. Damn. I mean, if I was a lady and I had all that ass I wanted to breathe to, it's hot as hell out here. But golly, it is a time and a place.
Yeah.
I thought this was the Rodeo Magic City collab. I, well, do y'all not have any shame? I'm
Nope.
talking about left cheek, left cheek, right cheek, just out. Just what bruh say? I think bruh said in that video, the bootio. This shit is the boot. This shit turned into the bootio, y'all. Man, boy, I tell you, boy, I tell you.
Is that the bootio?
Hey, man, say, man, some of these rodeo outfits is getting out of hand, and I gotta let y'all know that y'all doing too much in my city. Reminder for anybody that didn't know, the Texas Rodeo is a family event, especially during the daytime. I love to see titties and ass just as much as the next man. Probably more than the next man. But it's the time and place that separates class and standard from attention and just doing way too much. I know that 3 years ago, 80% of y'all wasn't even wearing rodeo gear if it wasn't for Bun B. I get that. The culture has shifted and more black people are specifically coming to the rodeo to partake in Texas culture. But partaking in Texas culture don't mean that your ass need to be out and we need to see your whole areola. Especially not during 3 o'clock in the day when husbands, wives, grandparents, aunties, and uncles are taking these young kids to the carnival to ride some rides, enjoy the dessert, play some games. They shouldn't have to worry about their kids looking at the bottom of your ass cheek or them dark spots on the inside of your thighs that's clearly visible to everybody. Now we doing too much, boo. It can't be that important to have that one picture moment in front of the big Ferris wheel with all of your ass out. To the gay males, let me let y'all know something too. We talking about time and place. Some of y'all that's coming out here, they got these faux leather Prince pants with the ass out. If you wearing that during the nighttime, going to a nightclub and you downtime, it's free game. It is what it is. But at 4:37 during the day on a random Tuesday or Wednesday, you walking around NRG in the carnival with your ass out? Come on, playboy. My nigga, that's just doing way too much. It's families here, bro. You not finna find the nigga that you looking for during this time of the day. And I know you still going back home to change clothes, unless you just gonna walk around and be musty like that because you know Houston is human. That's what I'm saying when I say attention and doing too much. For those of you that are wearing Daisy Dukes and crop top and the Dukes have your whole ass covered, I'm not talking to y'all. Y'all still playing within bounds. But y'all know who I'm talking to and y'all know what I'm talking about. And this is coming from a person that has a major voice in my city, and I'm saying it with love. Let's shift some of these wardrobes and let's raise the standard back up of rodeo attire. Let's not buy everything from Amazon or Shein that's see-through, that's Western related, that you think might look cute. Especially don't wear that shit during the day. It's a family event where older people and kids will be. That's all I got, man. Hey, man, say.
And see, my thing is, I see what they're saying, but my thing is, it's all about a time and a place. It's not about, oh, we just gonna wear this. Here's my thing. Another thing I see a lot of is women and men, you know, it's like the women are dressed in a certain way, but like I said, the men are loving it on social media. But then they say, but then in real life, they talking like how these men are talking. Oh, we don't need to see that. Da, 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 da. I think what's happening is there's too many people trying to emulate what they see on social media. I think it's a lot of that going on. And speaking of social media, something that I be seeing that be blowing me away is I be seeing women wearing just certain outfits that shows. I mean, did y'all see that recent interview that Coi Leray did with Justin LeBoy or whatever? I was looking at that like, oh my god, she pretty much had on sleepwear. She had on something that you wear to bed, or you wear for your man. It was just like, oh my gosh, and she's on camera with this. So it has come to a point where, I mean, women just don't. Some women just don't care anymore. I mean, it's just what it is, and that's that. It's like I'm talking about. I see it. I be like, oh my gosh, like you could see her whole coochie print. I be seeing women. They'd be on there dancing like on TikTok or something, or they'd be on, just a video dancing, just whether it be like a little challenge video or whatever is going on. But they'll have like some boy shorts on, or something that look like panties, and you can see their whole print. Or they'll have on some like yoga pants or just something with no panties on. You could tell they don't have no panties on. and they showing everything, and I'll be like, "Oh, okay." And it's like you don't wanna be judgmental, but at the same time, you like, "Damn, women just don't." I don't know, some women just don't care about being classy anymore. That's just what it is. Like I said, some of the outfits wasn't too bad, but I can see why it was an issue going on.
Telling me that the Houston Rodeo had to put in a dress code because grown adults didn't have enough discernment to be able to say, you know what, this outfit probably isn't appropriate for a family-friendly event. Society is absolutely screwed. I feel like I'm somewhat qualified to talk on this because not only was I an attendee almost every single year of the Houston Rodeo, but I also competed in the Houston Rodeo. If you don't understand rodeo culture, it's that it is a very family-friendly oriented place. It's a place for families to be able to go, have a good quality PG time. Rodeos are traditionally fairly affordable to be able to go to, and that's personally why my family and I went every single year. And by the way, my parents still go to the rodeo every single year. Controversy that I'm seeing online is, why do we have to cover up? Why do we have to cover up? I don't know, because like little kids like this are literally at that rodeo. You're wearing things that would literally get you kicked out of a club in Miami to a family-friendly event. You just like completely lost it. For whatever reason, people feel the absolute need to put their wants, their feelings above the greater good of everybody else. Are you kidding me? Just know that my Southern mother, if we would have been walking around the Houston Rodeo in 2026 and I was 8 years old, would have been shielding my eyes from everything that I've seen online. Like it's gross. Stop thinking about yourself for once and do better. You're telling me.
Well, they're not thinking about themselves. They're thinking about social media. They're thinking about how they gonna post on there that they looking good or whatever. So another thing that was going on down to the Houston, Texas rodeo. Mama Tina, Beyonce's mother, had a gumbo stand where she was selling her gumbo, and she was actually there in attendance, her physical self. And I've had gumbo before, only one time when I was down in New Orleans or whatever for the Essence Festival some years ago, and it was good. So, but I can't say what it should and shouldn't look like. I just know what I had was good. But there's mixed reviews about Mama Tina's gumbo, and let's see what some of the people had to say. Some people said that it gave somebody said it had him throwing up, and somebody said it gave him food poison. They had the health department actually shut her stand down, but then I heard it was reopened back up because I heard that she was in cooperation or whatever. But they said that there was some things that was not right as far as the proper, refrigeration of the gumbo. She herself, Mama Tina, said that uh it took 16 hours to make the gumbo. I'm not a gumbo connoisseur or anything like that, but I've been told that it shouldn't take no damn 16 hours to make no gumbo. Ew.
Something. The gumbo stinks. I feel like I would throw up for even from it. That girl says she is not finna give her money to a luau. And I believe her because she got an accent. So I know she know what she talking about. Everybody who ate Tina
Ew.
Knowles gumbo, this gumbo, the reason why y'all sick is because y'all don't know what the fuck she put in that damn gumbo. And see, if you know anything about luau, you know that they last for 101 days. The curse lasts for at least 101 days. That means whatever the fuck going on with y'all stomach right now, you feel that you finna feel that shit for the next 2, 3, 4 months. And what's crazy is that y'all ran out there to buy this gumbo just because Tina Knowles' name is behind it. Talking about, oh, we might be eating human remains, but 16 to 18 hours to make gumbo. And yes, you do not eat gumbo. You don't cook gumbo in the heat. You just don't do that. Anybody who's cooked gumbo should know that. And why would a woman that's otherwise wealthy be out here selling $25 cups of gumbo? Do y'all even use y'all brain sometimes before y'all just run out here and try to, because y'all want to be a part of something?
See, first of all, I wouldn't buy no $25 cup of gumbo. No way. I don't care who making it. See, people crazy just because it's Miss Tina. It's like, oh, I gotta try it, I gotta try it, I gotta try it. But now $25, And I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm looking at some of the videos of the gumbo, and I ain't trying to it don't look appealing. It really does not.
Right now on Tickety Talk got the flying shit. Now I tell you, you can't eat everything you see on TV or at the rodeo. For y'all newcomers and y'all are born it out of both ends. Who said that she was known for gumbo? Y'all just going down there eating her stuff because she's Beyonce's mama? Now word on the street, even though after this video, hold on, let me show you what I'm talking about. So you guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that gumbo is what made me sick. I told you all I called the health department. Um, it says, "Good morning, Erica. This is Justin with the Houston Health Department. I was calling to give you an update on the complaint filed against Mama Tina's Gumbo at the rodeo. In short, the temporary establishment was closed due to inaccuracy between their permit application and the actual food preparation they were conducting. We also discarded all gumbo on site due for the same reason, as well as the food being stored inside unapproved containers. And we cannot verify proper cooling methods for pre-cooked batches of gumbo. At this time, they are not allowed to operate until a new application is submitted. A health officer can verify proper food preparation on site, and the permit is approved and fees paid." Needless to say, keep your ass from eating everything just because it's going viral. And some of y'all are buying food off of the ticket, the top shop. Y'all need to stop doing that too. So if you are thinking about it, they have opened back up because my cousin went today to the rodeo. They have opened back up and they're selling gumbo. Help them, Jesus. Be with them and y'all booyos. Because at this point, y'all not gonna learn. She said the line was still long. Either y'all haven't seen it, but hopefully this reaches the person that needs to eat it. Do not eat the gumbo. People are having to shovel shit and put it in little tubes to get tested to see what type of organisms are growing. If you've ever made gumbo yourself, you would know you can't store gumbo that long. And you're making it in big quantities because the lines are wrapped around the corner. There's no way you can savor the flavor in that shit that long, especially if it has seafood. Salmonella ain't a thing? Help me, Jesus. Go get y'all a trill burger, a turkey leg, something else. Gumbo, this is the first year I've ever seen gumbo. And everybody know when it's hot outside, why the fuck are you eating gumbo? That's the cold weather food. Like chili, let them be with them, Jesus. Most of And my thing too, when it comes to like places like Houston or places that have things where a lot of people love to come, I would be so irritated if I was a person that lives there. I'd be so irritated with all the fucking visitors and stuff. It would just get on my nerves. I just feel like at the end of the day, some people just wanted to try it because it was Beyonce's mama. But to hear somebody actually got sick, like, oh my gosh.
Not a Beyonce hater, but I've never heard her mention her mother's gumbo. I've never heard her brag on her mother's gumbo at all. And then, like, I'm not no huge gumbo person or nothing like that. Like, I'm not from Louisiana or nothing. But y'all, every time I see a different person post that gumbo, it looks different. Sometimes it look like gravy. Sometimes it look like beef stew. Sometimes it look like just a whole bunch of meat inside broth. I don't know. And then for you to be cooking that shit for 18 hours. 18 hours. And did y'all see the one man, he ate it, he was like, oh, it's not that bad. But when he first took his first bite, he started coughing. I guess it went down the wrong pipe, whatever. Later on in the video, like at the end, he threw it up. Who the fuck throw up soup? He was sweating profusely. Like, oh my God. I was like, if that's not a sign.
Rodeo 26, I'm trying to see
That's the dude eating it. He eating the gumbo. Now he coughing. Yeah, and that's the thing. It was a little cup. It was like $25 for a little cup. So he eating it right now. They said at the end he gonna throw it up. Let me see. Oh, he's sweating.
And look.
Ooh.
Y'all better be careful eating them people food.
He showed his throw
Be
up.
careful eating them people food. What billionaire y'all know is trying to sell gumbo all of a sudden? And she talk about, I put my own little touch, and she's sitting there looking like a witch every time somebody, oh no, honey. I swear.
That's another thing. They was trying to say Beyonce mama a witch, so she probably put some shit in there. I don't believe that. But yeah, so that was that on that. I think y'all get the point. So yeah, y'all, that's what was going on. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you gotta be careful eating people's food, everybody's food. Just like when people be having when we having like potlucks and stuff at work, in the workplace, or whatever, and some people don't like to participate. And I see why. I mean, I understand why. You just never know with people's food. I'm not saying that Mama Tina did something to the food or nothing like that. I'm just saying, like, everybody, I don't know, everybody just different and people make stuff different. I'm real funny about eating from people's houses when I know they got pets and shit, or cats and shit like that, because some people, they're comfortable with their animals and stuff, and I'm not trying to get off topic. I'm just saying, when it comes to eating people's food, some people have animals and pets and stuff, and they're very comfortable with their pets, and they let their pets be in the kitchen and jumping on top of the counters and shit like that, and everybody's not comfortable with that. So it's just like that's a turn off too, and it's just I don't know, and you just never know what people are doing to their food. People how people some people do stuff like don't wash their hands. I'm a real big germaphobe. Like when it come to hand cross contamination, it's something about the hands, and I think I've got like this because when I was younger, I worked at a restaurant. My first job was at White Castle back in the day, child. And I before that I really didn't, I really didn't pay I wasn't like into germs, and I never paid attention to that type of shit. I know growing up I was taught to wash my hands and things like that, but it just wasn't like I didn't become a germaphobe until I started working actually, and I started to see things. I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And so then after I worked at White Castle, I also worked in a hospital for years. So obviously I saw a lot there. And in the hospitals, you're taught to you taught to scrub and wash your hands really good. And so from there I just started to become like real, just like even kind of OCD when it comes to like germs and stuff and cross contamination when it comes to the hands. I mean when I see people do certain things with their hands and then they'll go and put food in their mouth, like, touch their hair and stuff and then put food in their mouth, and with that same hand that they just got done rubbing through their hair and stuff, or they're cooking while they just got done rubbing their hands through their hair, or they're touching their body parts, or like, fixing clothing, fixing their clothes, fixing. I was in Subway actually a couple weeks ago, and the young lady, she was like getting ready to fix my food and stuff like that. And she had gloves on, but I saw her, she was messing with her hair, and because people get comfortable, they don't think nothing of it. And so she was messing with her hair and things like that. And I said, "Oh, excuse me." I said, who's going to be making my food, or is it going to be you?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Could you do me a favor? Could you change your gloves out? Because I just saw you messing with your hair." And she didn't have a problem with it. She did it. She changed her gloves and everything. It's just you. I mean, that's not even being funny acting, but it's just that you just can't. And hell, going back to White Castle, when I worked there, we were taught not to be horse playing around the food. Don't be touching your hair, touching your body parts, around the food. So I remember that kind of stuff. So I still, to this day, I still go by that. And when it comes to like, I was at work yesterday and I had some chips, and I offered it to a couple of my coworkers or whatever, like, before I start, eating it myself. I opened the bag and I offered some people some, and the few people I offered some, I poured it into their hand. I didn't let nobody stick their hands in my bag. And when I started eating it myself, I didn't even stick my hands in it. I just kind of was pouring it to a little bowl or whatever. So one of my other supervisor, I was offering him some, and I said, "Oh yeah, I said, did you like these?" I said, "You can, you can have some." He said, "I said I've been sharing them with everybody." He said, "Wait a minute, you been sharing them with everybody? You ain't been letting them put their hands in it, have you?" And I started laughing because I'm like, "No, I meant sharing it. Like I just offered it to people and I poured it in their hands." And he was like, "Oh, okay." But it's just little stuff that some people may think that you're being over the top or you being OCD, but it's really not that. It's just, it's just you have to watch that kind of shit. But some people don't care. Like I said, some people don't care about that kind of stuff, but I do. And even when you come home from being out outside in the day, you've been walking around, whatever you've been doing, you've been at work. When I come home, I wash my hands as soon as I get in my house, and I don't go straight in my kitchen and start looking into the refrigerator and stuff like that. I just think that's kind of nasty. Like you've been outside, you've been touching on this, touching on that, and touching on whatever, and then you coming in rambling through your refrigerator and stuff. I think that's nasty. I just do. And even when you wash your hands after you've been out all day, when you wash your hands, like you can literally see, like if you wash your hands real good, like you can see all the dirt and everything, everything just coming off your hand. Now, don't get me wrong. I have heard that, sometimes you do want to let a certain amount of germs build up because it actually helps build your immune system. Like if you trying to be too clean, like, your body doesn't learn to fight off like certain germs and things like that. But I mean, for the most part, I do like to try to wash my hands a lot. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's just certain germs you can't fight. You just can't get rid of. But yeah, when it comes to like just washing my hands and stuff, if I can help it, I do try to wash my hands and things. Or if I haven't washed my hands for whatever reason, if I'm grabbing like some cookies or something, I'll use a napkin and grab the cookie with the napkin or something, or the donut with the napkin or something like that. I don't know. I just don't like to just grab stuff. Like if I'm grabbing pizza, if we're at work or something, I just if the and I only like to get the pizza if it's freshly open. I don't like to get it when everybody done ran through it or whatever. I'll grab it with a paper towel, whatever. Or, more likely I'm gonna go wash my hands first. But it's just little stuff. So when it comes to eating people's food and stuff, you just gotta be careful, you know, don't be rude about it either. I know some people be like, when it comes to potlucks and stuff at work, some people be like, I don't eat everybody's cooking. I mean, that's fine, but you don't have to voice that. Just say you're not gonna participate in the potluck. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta be all loud and boisterous. I don't eat everybody's food. I don't eat everybody cooking. Cause at the end of the day, when you eat it, when you go out to eat or you go to a fast food joint, you don't know what's being done to that damn food. You don't know who nasty and who clean. You don't know who just got done running the counter, taking people's money, and then they going back there fixing the food. You don't know. I mean, you just don't know. You take a chance anytime. You better prepare with that food and can hope for the best. But you truly never know what's going on behind the scenes when people preparing your food and everything. You don't know who sat up there and was, scratching their hair, and then they start, ugh. I don't even want to think about it. Oh shit. So, but yeah, overall, the rodeo was something I heard. I just heard it was just a whole hot mess. They said it was also at the what was it? They had spring break at was it Daytona Beach? I think I think they had it there again this year. Well, they always have it in Daytona Beach or whatever. Yeah, Daytona Beach. I heard it was bad there too. I heard they declared a damn state of emergency or whatever because it got really bad. Somebody was saying something about that, and I'm just like, man, you know what? I don't know. I think a lot is going on because of, like I said, social media. I don't know. See, hold on, look.
Authorities in Daytona Beach are addressing spring break chaos seen over the weekend. Maybe you've seen the videos of the crowds on social media. Here's just some of them if you haven't. Officials say there was an unsanctioned spring break gathering that brought large crowds out to the beach. And during the chaos, there was a claim that a shooting had happened, which sent people running for cover. We heard from the Volusia County Sheriff. The beach was trashed, as you would expect when you have that many people coming in there. So we'll see what this week has in store for us. And the sheriff says there were 4 shootings that happened Saturday, but were not related to the beach crowds.
That's crazy.
A woman is being publicly called out by police after organizing a spring break event, and now she could be forced to pay for everything. Her name is Aaliyah Brooks. This happened in Daytona Beach, Florida. She promoted a spring break takeover online. No permits, no official approval, but the event still went on. Crowd showed up. Things got out of control. Trash was left everywhere. Police had to step in. Fire, EMS, cleanup crews, all deployed. And now she may be responsible for all of it. Authorities say they warned her in advance. A cease and desist letter was sent, but she ignored it. So now it escalated. Police publicly released her name and identity, put her on notice online. Their message was clear: we're coming after you. They even warned her assets could be targeted. Her car, her money, and it doesn't stop there. Anyone involved in promoting the event could also be held accountable. This is no longer just a party. It's about who pays for the chaos. Do you think she just organized an event, or should she pay for everything that followed?
Child,
I'm pretty positive that anybody who was arrested during this event, they singing. They telling on anybody and everybody at this point. Michael J. Chitwood, who is the sheriff of Volusia Sheriff's Office, promises anybody who had any involvement in creating this event for the Daytona Spring Break, he's coming after their assets. He said they're going to pay for having the sheriffs on standby, having the sheriffs having to arrest or even come out to the event at all. They're paying for anything involving the city's money for such an unauthorized event. He identified this young woman here, who is also this young woman, Aaliyah Ingram. She is the one who announced this entire event to begin with. These are her flyers that she had out. Now, mind you, Sheriff Chitwood said the event was supposed to happen between like the 18th and the 22nd or something like that. So I think they pushed it back so that way it can kind of throw off the sheriff's office, because this says the 11th through the 15th. And then another person that the sheriff's office identified was this young lady here, Brittany Plummer. And here's another flyer from the event. All of the dates listed and everything that they were going to have planned. Now, mind you, Aaliyah I don't think she got paid. I don't think she got paid for this event, but she did orchestrate the event, which is good enough for the sheriff. He said, I don't even give a damn. You finna be responsible and you finna pay all of my employees. You finna pay all of the expenses that we had to come out of pocket in order to litigate this entire situation, because there were 4 shootings and multiple arrests. And Aaliyah and Brittany, girl, you are in danger, honey. Y'all better get it together.
Molly, you in danger, girl. See, and here's my thing. When it come to these events, I just feel like, and don't get me wrong, when I was coming up, we always had, we always had stuff like we had spring break and things like that. And like I said, they had Freaknik. I didn't never go to Freaknik, but there's always events where people started to gather, and there was like an overload of people. Freaknik used to be terrible. I saw documentaries on Freaknik, and it's like I'm glad I wasn't a part of that. I don't like events like that where it's just so many people. And Freaknik started getting dangerous. Freak started getting bad, and that's why they kind of started. It started going away back in the 90s or whatever. And it just seemed like, why is it that when people gathered at functions like this, it always got to turn into sex? People shaking ass, showing titties and all that stuff. It just, I don't know. I'm just over it, like I said. But this right here, where stuff is getting violent and people just, shootings happen, like, it's like crazy. It's like, damn, do people want to have fun anymore? Why they got to go and try to just turn everything into a damn disaster? So yeah, I don't know. I'm just not into that type of shit. um they might start just banning the shit. Like, they might start not having Daytona Beach be the spot for spring break anymore.
Daytona Beach should no longer position itself as a spring break destination. The city of Daytona Beach is unique in the volume and frequency of major events it hosts throughout the year, often in close succession. This requires our officers to work significantly more mandated special event assignments than many comparable agencies. The cumulative impact of these demands contributes to operational fatigue and reinforces the need for more structured and a sustainable approach moving forward. Daytona Beach should no longer position itself as a spring break destination. It is not a decision against tourism, but a decision against unsanctioned, high-risk activity that strains resources, disrupts our community, and places unnecessary demands on public safety personnel. Daytona Beach should no longer position itself as a spring break destination.
See, no, y'all. Well, so yeah, so that's what happened. That's what had happened, y'all. I just say that, I just wish people would start, you know, being more mindful when they're having fun. I mean, it's okay to have fun, but not everything needs to be raunchy, and not everything needs to be just you know what I'm saying, over the top. If you want to continue to enjoy a place or enjoy a certain function, just keep it cool, like have fun. I mean, have fun, turn up and everything, but everything don't have to turn into violence. Everything don't have to turn into where the police have to be called out and things like that. That's just,
And
you
he
just
put front and center. Chitwood said his office had already.
Oh, we already saw that. But yeah, so
I honestly think that's why the Volusia Sheriff Office is so pissed off, because they talking about suing the promoter who promoted for everybody to come to.
Oh, they should talk about that girl. Oh my gosh, yeah. Let me see.
The beach for spring break. This year, don't do it. The Volusia County Sheriff Office have no mercy.
Like somebody
They're literally out there having just patrol after patrol officers cracking.
Child.
Police are currently investigating a shooting on Daytona Beach's beachside tonight, where officers say a female may have been shot. Several shell casings can be seen scattered across the ground as investigators work the scene. The entire area has been locked down, with crime scene tape stretched across the roadway while detectives collect evidence. Witnesses say the female victim was placed onto a stretcher and loaded into an ambulance before being transported from the scene. Her condition.
So they be having bike week down there too. Let me see. Hold on.
What's wrong with people? What has happened to our youth? Not only are they disrespectful and they go and they tear up everything and they leave trash everywhere. And it's so funny because as I deep dive into these spring breaks, and of course we've been reporting on spring breaks for a long time. We talked about it down in Miami and in Miami Beach, where the police pretty much crack down on everything and everybody. And it's so funny because they were saying that the businesses are gonna die and all of this stuff, and all of the businesses are still there. They're still thriving, and the people that actually spend money on these things, they not tearing it up. They not leaving trash everywhere, and so it's not about that. Now, you can make a case for like people that are being poor and they piling up in the hotels and they tearing up the hotels and the hotel industry or something like that. But Miami is Miami. Miami Beach is going to be what it is, and people are always going to go there because the weather is good outside of hurricane season, and people are going to run up a bag down there in Miami. So Miami is going to be Miami. But
I like Miami.
Miami,
I actually like Miami, and I love Fort Lauderdale. I've been to both of them a few times. I actually love Fort Lauderdale. I actually wouldn't mind having dual residency in Fort Lauderdale. Wouldn't mind having a place here in Ohio, and then having a place in Florida, Fort Lauderdale. I just love it that much. But yeah, this extra stuff right here in Daytona,
Fort Lauderdale started cracking down in recent years after they moved from Miami to Fort Lauderdale, and people predicted, "Oh my God, it's gonna," and Fort Lauderdale is gonna be the same. So now what they've done is they've ran over to Orlando, and so they've also moved over to Daytona Beach, and they moved over to Houston. Now, of course, we know that all of these people, they are going everywhere, and I don't know if parents are unaware of what their kids are doing, or if they don't realize that these kids, even if they just got to college or they in high school and they just turned 18 and they ran over to these places, that they were still going to be unruly and they need to get some control over their kids, or if they're not following their kids on social media. But they are. They are destroying things. They're carrying guns. There's plenty of people that were arrested. Reports of gunshots on Daytona Beach, even with the police being there and all of that. And so it's just become so unruly. It's not even about partying. It's not even about having fun. It's not about. It's not about being young. It's about tearing up.
mm-hmm.
And so
That's what I
the
was saying.
stereotypes exist for a reason. People have adopted these stereotypes for a reason. And the reason is because people are doing stuff, and it's always usually it is people that are black in the culture that are tearing up, and they kids ain't got no control, and they always talking about how they ain't got no money and they broke and the kids ain't gonna be able to find no jobs, but they out there partying and they find money to do the things that they want to do. So when you see this type of stuff happening, and the funniest part about it is that they record it now. They record it, they document it, they
Well, it's kind of like I was saying. I think they're doing this shit for social media. They always want to record everything. They always want to put everything on social media and things like that. That's part of the reason why it's worse. Is because I'm not gonna sit up here and act like we didn't have our issues when I was coming up and we had, like I said, Freaknik got bad. I never went to Freaknik, but what I'm saying is it got bad. Like girls started getting essayed up there to do. It just started getting rough, and so it started to shut down. It's been a thing for a long time that people do start to not, they don't know how to act around, at certain functions or whatever after a while. It's just like it's always gotta be some bullshit.
put it on social media for everybody to see and download, and they talk about the guns that they have, and hey, hold on, wait a minute, I got a grenade in my book bag. And I'm, what do you mean you have a grenade in your book bag? Why are what's
So yeah, I don't know.
I don't blame any of the restaurants or the beaches for charging astronomical prices for spring break this year. Y'all really
That's another thing. Going back to Houston, they were saying that they were charging $300 to $600 to get into the clubs and stuff on during the rodeo weekend. That's crazy, crazy.
thought y'all was gonna go into people's restaurant broke? I seen a girl who said that, oh, they charging $300 per table. Yes, bitch, I would be too. Y'all not finna come in here with y'all slides, lashes, and
See, I think they hiked the price up because that mean they want to keep a certain they want to keep a certain caliber of people out because if it's super expensive, they ain't gonna pay.
and lace fronts, book bags and shit. just to run out, just to do a dine and dash. No. In order to even sit in my restaurant, you're going to have to pay a fee. That ensures me that you're not finna dine and dash. All I've seen from Houston and Daytona Beach was a bunch of nonsense. That's it. So y'all really just went to spring break just to get in the fights? Just to get arrested? Like, y'all didn't even have any fun. It's the fact that half of y'all knew the people that y'all bought with y'all didn't have any money, so y'all couldn't even enjoy it. Y'all had, y'all could see the look on their faces. They were literally just standing around contemplating on what they were going to do because somebody ain't got enough money, and the person who do got enough money don't want to let the other person know they got enough money because they don't want to pay nobody else's way. Another girl ended up in the hospital. Like, what kind of spring break is y'all doing? Y'all, this is not spring break. That is not how y'all do spring break. Y'all is doing it totally wrong. I don't blame any of the
They doing that totally wrong, just like they do the clubs totally wrong nowadays. Club culture is just done went to bullshit now. Nobody has fun anymore. Everybody want to go in the club, just be on social media. Everybody want to just take pictures and stuff or show little snippet videos of themselves and trying to turn up or whatever, but they really not doing it to have a good time. They just doing it for their social medias. People don't engage in conversation anymore. People don't talk. People don't dance. They just stand around looking stupid as fuck, all in their phones. And that, let me tell you something, that annoys the whole fuck out of me when I see people in social settings and they're all in their phones. I mean, it's just nuts. And then you wonder why they want to talk about people being socially awkward. People are not socially awkward. People just want to be in their damn phones. I don't believe in that socially awkward shit. I don't. I do believe that there are some people who are naturally introverted and they just more so like to be to themselves, and that's cool. But what I'm saying is, if you are in a social environment, if you take your ass to the club or you take your ass to a restaurant and you take your ass to be around people, then you have to you there is no, oh, I'm just socially awkward, I don't really want to socialize. Then why the fuck are you there? You shouldn't even be there. You shouldn't be there. If you are socially awkward, keep your ass at home or keep yourself in more intimate settings, like around, family and friends or whatever that you don't mind interacting with. But in terms of like taking your ass to a restaurant, or like I said, just being in any type of social environment, that's not, I don't agree with it. I think it's rude as fuck. I think it is so rude to be in your phone when you are in a social setting. I do. Be in the moment. Enjoy the moment. Why are you in your phone? Why are you on Facebook? Why are you on fucking TikTok? Why are you on this shit and you are in front of people? That is so, like, that's lame to me. I'm just gonna say that shit is lame as fuck to me. It's very lame, for real. That's why, like I said, when I was coming up, we had so much fun. The memories are more memorable and we cherish them more because we made direct contact with people, we interacted with people, we went to the club, we danced, we got our sweat on, damn it, our hair started to kind of sweat out because we was, if you didn't leave the club with your hair sweated out, you didn't do it right. It's crazy how club culture, and I'm not a club girl now, I'm too old for that shit, I don't care for it. But what I'm saying is, if I was a young person, I wouldn't be into it now because it just would be just so fucking dull to me. Like, I don't want to go to a club, pay my money just to see people stand around and be in their phones, and people don't even talk to each other. Like, that's crazy shit. Back when I was coming to hell, you girl, by at the end of the night, we was tallying up who got the most numbers. How many numbers did you get tonight, girl? Like, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But now it's like, people just, they worried about their social media, honey. That's all they worried about. Social media is driving people insane. And I'm gonna leave off with that. Social media, it really is driving people insane. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'm just gonna say that or whatever. And that's that. Here's one thing I want to leave y'all with. This is the quote of the day. It says, I'm definitely a people person. I love socializing and being around people and having a good conversation. That is from Emily Deschanel. So on that note, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta finish watching this movie. I'm watching this movie on Lifetime with Tyler LePlay. What's his name? Tyler LePlay. Tyler LePlay and Eva Marcel. It's called Pushed Out of a Plane and Survived. It's so good. He played a crazy ass, narcissistic ass, just gigolo type dude in this movie, Tyler LePlay. I think I'm saying his name wrong, his last name wrong. So, all right. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace. All right, guys, that's it for today's podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow me on social media. All right, take care.